Good afternoon, everyone. It's really an honor to present something from the University of Nottingham and also on behalf of Nottingham City Council. It's a privilege to speak among guests. There's so many leaders. So far, I have heard many interesting views and perspectives and where India stands in the smart city conclave. So I would like to present something in terms of academic collaborations with the City Council and what have we been doing so far in terms of research and how we are trying to bring innovation from academic front and trying to do this in partnerships with industries and also the council itself. So as you can see here, university works on centers of beacons of excellence or global research themes. We have a target, we have a vision, and one of this is actually which shows is developing sustainable societies. I am a member of RPI cluster, research, sustainable and resilient cities research cluster. As you can see, we do a number of things as a part of this cluster, which is planning and designing health and well-being, society, culture, economics, resource management, integrated modeling, and planning. However, this wouldn't have been possible without the partnerships, and we do this very efficiently with Nottingham City Council under various projects, in fact, where Nottingham as a smart city is a major initiative, developing smart campuses, developing sustainable development strategy, and also working on the Green Partnership Nottingham. I would like to start off the story with the Smart Campus Initiative. Normally when we do great things, starting with, let's say, trying to improve anything, our leaders have rightly said it should start from home, and that's what we are trying to do. Make our campuses, that is the Nottingham City University itself, as a sort of prototype so that we can develop projects, small projects, and see how these are scalable in terms of urban systems. As you can see, Nottingham is a global university. We have 3 campuses. One is in UK, obviously, and the other 2 are in Malaysia and China. And we have nearly 40 to 50,000 students who are enrolled, and we are the 5th largest university in student enrollment. A quarter of a proportion of our students are from China, as you can see from the numbers, and also from Malaysia. We have a number of academic staff who are employed and also stay in the University of Nottingham. You must be wondering why I am actually trying to say these numbers, because as you can see, there is a significant fiscal impact, fiscal presence in fact, and economic impact, and also the way it impacts on the final economic development, 1.1 billion annual economic impact in Nottingham, and also the number of jobs University of Nottingham itself is creating. So we envisage our vision will come true. As you can see from the labels here, we have a number of small projects which we have started or initiated in terms of smart village, smart energy, smart people, and smart working, everything which is smart, in fact, which you can see under the hut, and also smart connectivity. And as you can see, our campus, we envisage to see that as a small city. Smart campus projects is something which we have openly thrown up to researchers, academics, and other people to make surveys on the campus to, in fact, change user behaviors. How we can start with smart mobility, for instance, in terms of working with taking a smart bike approach. And I've seen this mentioned several times in the talk since morning. And what we are trying to do here is not only encourage users, but also see how the users are engaged in this sort of initiatives. Making smart city into a reality is not easy. We do have to engage with users. And that's what we are trying to achieve, as you can see here, through several strategies and funding. One of the strategy which we would like to make use of is trying to attract funding from ICSF. And you can see there are 4 grand challenges we're trying to address here, which includes artificial intelligence, data economy, aging society, clean growth, and future mobility. There's lots going on in artificial intelligence, as you have seen in the talks from the morning. but the priority for this kind of strategy is clean growth and future of mobility. And there's several topics which come under this, which we are trying to work on, which is obviously mobility, resource management, air quality, and social well-being. And of course, we do underestimate the surveys, but surveys do give us a lot of information. Data collection is very important when we are trying to talk about these major initiatives. And we have even published this as a part of our study plan. As you can see, how smart campuses can teach us about smart cities. And there's several interesting projects the University of Nottingham is also engaging in. One of that is Scenic, which is called the Smart Controlled Energy Networks integrated in the communities. And I believe when we work in communities, try to do this in small blocks, it becomes easier for us to scale up the process. As you can see here in the picture, we have creative energy homes. This is nothing but our own in situ facility. What we try to do here is to use this as a test bed, in fact, for researchers, industries, to try anything they want, and we can get answers immediately of how normally an energy is used in a common household. That is just an exemplar. We have done several projects on this creative energy homes. This is located on our campus in the University Park. As you can see, we have several capabilities as a part of this creative energy homes. They start from sustainable design, carbon emission and reduction management, renewable energy, retrofit technologies, micro-smart grids, energy storage, smart home, and low-temperature heating networks. We have a number of facilities, and we have invested nearly 2.5 million investment in this infrastructure, which is funded by the industry, and of course, a further 10 million investment has been used in this kind of creating this energy homes. This is coming from several research projects. Another thing we are also involved in is transport, mobility, and cities. And we work in partnerships, obviously, with the major industries. One of the industries is Catapult. And when we are trying to work on this kind of initiatives, we normally concentrate on the type of enablers, key enablers. In this case, it is energy and sustainability, smart systems, operation, and resilience. Obviously, Catapult have a fantastic services and technology, but we are trying to use this in the context of place, people and goods, infrastructure, and vehicle. And of course, most of it is underpinned by international application as well. So it's not just at national level, we are trying to do research and development, which is scalable globally, is also what we are interested in. E-Velocity is another one in this direction. This is an interesting project. As you can see, research and development project which is looking at increasing the uptake of electric vehicles through helping consumers to monetize this investment, which is called the vehicle to grid. I'm not sure whether you've heard about this. Now we are also trying to move or have moved already into electric vehicles, but we are trying to use this because we are trying to see the flow of energy when the car is not used from the battery into the grid and then back. So we are trying to really monetize the investment the consumers make. And this is again funded by various funding research councils. Now, the Smart City Initiative, as I have shown you the smart campuses and some of the interesting projects which we have been involved in so far. The Smart City is in collaboration with the Nottingham City Council. It is having 3 partners, obviously also includes the Nottingham University apart from Nottingham University itself. About Nottingham, since we're talking a lot about this prototype models which we are trying to work in this part of the world, it would be useful to highlight for those who don't know about Nottingham. This is in the Midlands. It's one of the youngest cities in the UK and growing vibrant cities. 1/3 of the population is nearly young generation, and we generate a number of jobs, obviously because there are 2 universities there, and 59% of the jobs are in knowledge-intensive industries. Major UK city because it is just 2 hours from London and it is in the Midlands, and it is one of the top 10 core UK cities. So it's ranked 8th in terms of energy efficiency. And DNA is innovation is in our DNA, and Nottingham is known for a number of innovations since long time. It's not new. iBoofriend, for instance, MRI scanner, or world's oldest football team, Tarmac Road, or the traffic lights. These are all something which started off from this part of the world. Nottingham itself is a thriving dynamic destination for businesses to grow and innovate, and Nottingham City Council owns one of the largest asset bases of all the core cities, which we aim to we deploy normally at a space and scale. We are recognized to be a forward-thinking city and the first local authority to set up a not-for-profit energy company and one of the biggest integrated transport systems in the UK. It is one of the top energy efficient cities which is ranked in the UK. So far, we have attracted nearly 50 million funding to create the city of this future, and most of it is in clean energy and also transport systems and reducing carbon emissions, obviously. Our creative quarter is mostly a focal point for digital startups, and we have a number of digital startups already. We have a number of bio-incubated centers as well. There's a lot of innovation going on in collaborations with industries, which is called the BioCity Design Incubator. We have heard a number of talks since morning on artificial intelligence and data, and Smart Nottingham. We at Nottingham are also following this rule. We are using a lot of digitization in the infrastructure and connectivity. As you can see, trying to achieve everything in terms of energy, transport, homes, health and well-being. In urban context, for instance, under the partnership, Green Partnership, which is in 2050, we are trying to achieve a number of key areas in terms of impact, which is biodiversity, energy, food, transport, waste, and water and climate change. And we are doing this obviously under the partnership with the City Council, and we are doing also developing collaborative research beds to address the city's main challenges. So now I'm going to go through with a number of small projects, not small projects, these are major projects, but trying to give you a glimpse of what's happening globally and also Nottingham in partnership with industries. Regeneration model, which is called the REMO, for accelerating the smart urban transformation. This is done in collaboration with European partners as well. The gist of this is trying to create energy efficient solutions and also smart mobility. In terms of energy, as you can see, trying to use retrofitting technologies and trying to lower temperature. And in terms of transport, we are trying to use ultra low emission vehicles and also logistics hub and last mile delivery. So using a lot of data collection and surveys in terms of ICT, trying to keep in loop. The main function of this is because we are considered to be one of the satellite cities, Nottingham. We are doing this in tandem with other countries like Portugal and also Turkey. Another project which is sensible, it is about storing and sharing localized energy generation with the community, increasing efficiency and reducing the cost for all. So this has become quite a hit, trying to save energy in small communities in terms of housing and trying to see how much this has an impact in terms of economics and also efficiency. And sensible project is a European funded project as well. The demonstration sites for this, as I said, Nottingham being one of the satellite cities and also Portugal and Germany. This is another project which you can say is a scaled-on project. This is happening just in Nottingham, in Trent Basin. We have a number of community energy schemes here. In fact, new developments where they're trying to make this a kind of promotion in terms of infrastructure where the energy can be stored and also used by the whole community in an efficient way. Trent Basin is again, this is the same kind of energy demonstrator where you have nearly 500 contemporary high-quality low-energy homes, and the Tesla, which is the largest battery, stores the clean energy from the solar panels which the whole community can use. Go Ultra Low is an initiative of the government. Nearly 40 million is invested in this, out of which 6.12 million comes to Nottingham City Council. Most of them are trying to establish the 200 electric vehicle charging points, and also trying to change the taxis into electric by giving them subsidies. We have the first UK bus lane which allows the electric vehicles, and also trying to encourage businesses for sustainable travel. Robin Hood Smart Transport, you must be aware, Nottingham is in the Robin Hood County. We have integrated smart travel system. One ticket can be used across the trains, trams and the buses, and we are also trying to go contactless. And we have nearly a number of buses which have gone electric, which can run on biogas, etc. So I do have, because of the short time, I had to give you a very brief glimpse of all the projects which are happening in the smart cities direction. And obviously this is brought together, these initiatives are driven and brought together by a number of leaders, starting off with Nottingham City Council, David Bishop, who is Deputy Chief Executive, Nick McDonald, Portfolio Holder for Development and Growth, Chris Henning, who is the Corporate Director for Development and Growth. And obviously from the university side, most of the innovation is happening from the Sustainable and Resilient Cities Research Cluster. Lucilia Rodriguez is from the University of Nottingham, that cluster, who is actually leading these initiatives. And obviously being smart in all our approaches and trying to innovate more. We also use a smart platform for connectivity or also for communication. As you can see, you can follow us on Twitter at UN_cities. Thank you for this opportunity, and any questions on what I've just presented I can address later. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Madam, you have shown in your slide that the smart energy. What do you mean by smart energy?
Right, that's a good question, I think. When you say smart energy, it also depends upon what is being generated in a smart, efficient way, and also what is being used by the consumer, how efficiently we use the energy we have generated. The smart energy can be anything. One which is quite famous is drawing from the solar panels. But not all over the world we have sun throughout the year, isn't it? And UK is a typical example where you don't have sun throughout the year. So we are trying to find strategies how we can store this energy which is drawn from the sun in either large batteries or having, other kinds of systems which can store and supply it to us without losing them at any point. As you can see also what I've shown on the smart vehicles, trying to use even the charge which is taken by the battery of car. You want to use it, not lose it, because you have captured it now, and then you want to give it back to the grid. In fact, if you sell it back to the grid, you get back money. So grid is a government, sort of